As anime fans, we all have that one character that just sets you on edge whenever they flash on the screen. Makes you wonder why you hate this three-dimensional character so much. Maybe they're in this list, and maybe we'll tell you why. So, hit that subscribe button as we count down to the top 15 most hated anime characters. And of course, why fans hate them. Let's dive right in. Coming in at number 15 on this list is Zenitsu, the walking, screaming, lightning-powered anxiety attack. On one hand, he's got some of the coolest fight scenes in Demon Slayer. On the other hand, his constant whining and screaming makes you want to mute your TV. Fans either love him for his comedic relief, or hate him for being, well, a lot. Sure, he's got a tragic backstory, but does that excuse the ear-piercing shrieks every time something moves? Some fans argue he's relatable, because who hasn't panicked over literally everything? But others just want him to take a deep breath and let someone else handle the drama for once. This next one almost comes with a sigh, but moving on. We have Kaori, the violinist who somehow manages to divide fans into two camps. Those who bawl their eyes out over her story, and those who find her manipulative and overly dramatic. Let's break it down. Kaori's free-spirited personality is meant to inspire Kosei, the protagonist, to break out of his emotional shell. But some fans just can't stand how she plays with his feelings, knowing full well she's not planning to stick around. Her live life to the fullest attitude is admirable, but her methods, questionable at best. And let's not forget the emotional gut punch of her fate. Some fans feel it's a cheap tearjerker, while others argue it's the very heart of the story. Either way, Kaori's character you either love or love to hate. And we all know where most anime fans lean. Up next, we have Rossyu, is the guy who tried to kill the hype in Gurren Lagann, and fans still haven't forgiven him. When Simon and Kamina are out there drilling holes in the universe and shouting about fighting spirit, Rossyu shows up with his logic, rules, and bureaucracy. He's the ultimate buzzkill, and his decision to exile Simon, the guy who saved humanity, by the way, is the cherry on top of this betrayal sundae. Sure, he eventually redeems himself, but that doesn't erase the fact that he tried to execute the main character. Rossy's the kind of guy who'd tell you to calm down at a concert. And honestly, who needs that energy? Okay, I might be a little biased here, but Mineta is only mildly annoying. At number 12, we have that pervy grape who somehow made it into UA High. If there's one character who embodies the worst anime tropes, it's this guy. Mineta's entire personality revolves around being a creep, and fans are tired of it. From his constant pervy comments to his questionable actions around his female classmates. Mineta is the character you want to yeet into the sun. Sure, he's got a decent quirk, but no amount of sticky balls can make up for his lack of basic decency. Some fans argue he's just comic relief, but let's be real. There's a fine line between funny and flat-out annoying. And Mineta, he's crossed that line, set it on fire, and kept going. Personally, I never really understood all the Gabi hate, but I can see why. Gabi Braun is the kid who made Attack on Titan fans rage like never before. She's loud, brash, and has a knack for making the worst decisions at the worst possible times. And she killed a fan-favorite character. Need I say more? Gabi's blind loyalty to Marley and her refusal to see the bigger picture make her one of the most frustrating characters in the series. Sure, she's a product of her environment, but that doesn't make her any less infuriating. Some fans argue she's a mirror of Aaron's younger self, but let's be real. Aaron didn't have Gabi's level of audacity. Love her or hate her, Gabi's a character who leaves a lasting impression. Flare is the walking, talking embodiment of everything wrong with redo of healer. She's cruel, manipulative, and just plain evil. Her actions are so over the top that it's hard to take her seriously, but that doesn't make her any less hateable. Flare's treatment of Kiaru is downright horrifying, and her eventual comeuppance is one of the few satisfying moments in the series. But even then, fans can't help but wonder why she was written the way she was. Is she a commentary on power and corruption? Or just an excuse for the show to be edgy? Either way, Flare's a character who's hard to forget, for all the wrong reasons. Yamai Ren is the yandere who crossed every line, and then some. Her obsession with Komi is creepy, unhealthy, and downright terrifying. From kidnapping Tadano to threatening anyone who gets close to Komi, Yamai's actions are anything but funny. Some fans argue she's just a parody of yandere tropes, but that doesn't make her any less annoying. Her antics often derail the plot, and her lack of consequences is frustrating to say the least. Yamai's the kind of character who makes you wonder why she's even in the story. She's that one character who should never have left the mind of the mangaka, if you know what I mean. For Kirito, this is an opinion shared by a lot of fans, myself included. He's the guy who somehow survives everything, from his overpowered skills to his harem of girls who inexplicably fall for him. Kirito is the poster child for lazy writing. Fans can't stand how he always comes out on top, no matter the odds. Sure, he's got a cool design and some decent fight scenes, but that doesn't make up for his lack of personality. Kirito's the kind of character who makes you wonder why he's the protagonist in the first place. And don't even get me started on his relationship with Asuna. It's about as deep as a puddle. That's a story for another day, but Kirito's character also lacks depth in all the ways that count. For Endeavor, it's a pretty easy and straightforward reason why he's hated. He's the walking, flaming embodiment of toxic masculinity. As the former number 2 hero, he spent years obsessing over surpassing All Might, even going so far as to create a perfect heir through a quirk marriage. Yeah, not exactly hero material. His abusive behavior toward his family, especially Shoto, make him one of the most hated characters in the series. Fans were ready to write him off entirely, but then My Hero Academia did the unthinkable. It gave him a redemption arc, which felt very weird. Now, don't get me wrong. Endeavor's attempts to atone for his past are compelling. His growth as a character is one of the most nuanced aspects of the series. But here's the thing. Redemption arcs don't erase years of abuse. Some fans appreciate the complexity, while others feel like the story gets him off too easy. Either way, Endeavor's a character who sparks heated debates every time he's on screen. And let's be real, no amount of character development can make us forget that time he burned his family to the ground, literally and figuratively. At number 6, we have Nina Einstein. She is the character who made fans question their love for Code Geass. Her obsession with Euphemia is creepy enough, but it's her actions later in the series that really seal the deal. Remember Table-kun? Yeah, that's not something fans can easily forget. Nina's descent into madness is both fascinating and frustrating. She's a character who's meant to represent the darker side of war and prejudice, but her actions often come across as over the top and unnecessary. Fans can't stand how she's given so much screen time, especially when there are far more compelling characters to focus on. And let's be real, her relationship with Table-kun is the stuff of nightmares. Nina's a character who's hard to defend, and even harder to like. Malty, or as fans lovingly call her, Bitch, is the character you love to hate. From the moment she's introduced, it's clear she's up to no good. Her false accusation against Naofumi sets the entire plot in motion, and fans still haven't forgiven her for it. What makes Malty so hateable is her sheer lack of redeeming qualities. She's manipulative, selfish, and downright evil. Every time she's on screen, you can just feel the collective rage of the anime community. And while her eventual comeuppance is satisfying, it doesn't make up for the sheer frustration she causes throughout the series. Malty's the kind of character who makes you wonder how she hasn't been yeeted into the sun yet. Danzo Shimura is the guy who makes you question everything you thought you knew about the Leaf Village. As the leader of Root, he's responsible for some of the shadiest, most underhanded tactics in the series. From orchestrating the Uchiha massacre to stealing Shisui's eye, Danzo's list of crimes is longer than a CVS receipt. What makes Danzo so hateable isn't just his actions, it's his hypocrisy. He claims to do everything for the greater good of the Leaf Village, but his methods are downright villainous. Fans can't stand how he manipulates everyone around him, all while hiding behind his bandages and self-righteous speeches. And let's not forget his final moments, where he tries to take everyone down with him. Danzo's the character whose death is one of the most satisfying moments in Naruto. Good riddance. Griffith is the ultimate betrayal king. His fall from grace is one of the most iconic moments in anime history. And it's also the reason fans can't stand him. From his willingness to sacrifice his entire band of mercenaries to his alliance with the God Hand, Griffith's actions are unforgivable. What makes Griffith so hateable isn't just his actions, it's his charisma. He's the kind of character who draws people in, only to stab them in the back when it suits him. Fans can't stand how he manipulates everyone around him, all while maintaining his cool, collected demeanor. And let's not forget what he did to Casca. Yeah, that's some sin that holds a hall of fame in anime history. And finally, we have Sakura Haruno, the character who somehow manages to be both loved and hated by the anime community. On one hand, she's a strong, capable kunoichi who grows significantly throughout the series. On the other hand, her obsession with Sasuke and her treatment of Naruto makes her one of the most frustrating characters in anime. Fans can't stand how Sakura constantly puts Sasuke on a pedestal, even after he tries to kill her multiple times. Her lack of gratitude toward Naruto, who's always there for her, is equally frustrating. And let's not forget her infamous, "I finally caught up to them" line, which made fans roll their eyes so hard they saw the back of their skulls. Sakura's a character who's hard to defend, and even harder to like. If there's one character who deserves a permanent spot in anime villain hell, it's Shou Tucker. This guy is the definition of irredeemable. In just one episode, he managed to cement himself as one of the most hated characters in anime history. How, you ask? By turning his daughter and dog into a chimera. Yeah, let that sink in. Tucker's actions are so horrifying that they haunt fans to this day. What makes it worse is his justification. He claims he did it for research. Research? Buddy, there's no Nobel Prize for most monstrous act of child abuse. Tucker's arc is a brutal reminder of the darker themes in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And while it's masterfully written, it's also the reason fans can't stand him. He deserves every bit of it. And there you have it, guys. The top 15 most hated anime characters. Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comments. Hit the like and subscribe button for more videos like these. Until next time.